Ladies and gents, how you doing? Seeing as it's the local elections in just a couple of days, I'll be carrying on talking about them for a bit, because it'll be good for a laugh. Yeah, it will. The comedy writes itself when you're covering UK politics. We've got people standing for elected high office in the United Kingdom who make Osama bin Laden look reasonable. So I'm going to be talking about that shortly. But before we jump into this marvellous story from GB News, let's just quickly have a listen to Al Khan's. Yes, a man who's done more damage to the British military than the IRA is telling you, definitely don't vote for the Green Party. They would reshape the country. Is that a risk worth taking?
Is it worth the risk? The beauty of democracy is you can vote for whoever you like, but it's important to be clear about what that choice really means. If you vote Green in these local elections, you're voting towards the decriminalisation of all drugs. Now, I have children. No thanks. You're voting in the middle of two major conflicts to leave NATO. Absolutely no thanks. You're also voting for someone whose fiscal policy would seriously undermine, if not destroy, our economy.
You mean the debt or the deficit?
The debt.
Okay, the debt is
Sorry,
much
the deficit, sorry.
Okay.
Absolutely no thanks. From my perspective, these are really serious times. We need serious policies and we need serious politics. So before you vote, ask yourself, is that risk worth taking?
Did you get all that? Yeah. Serious politics from a party that's got Ed Miliband in it, who chiselled all of their fake pledges in a big stone. I think that's now been broken up. They used it to make some crazy paving in the backyard of Keir Starmer's third house. And knowing the Labour Party, it's a good job Fred West's already dead, because he'd be doing the building work. Right, this is brilliant, this. You all know Birmingham. I think Birmalabad is the worst city in Britain. People talk about Bradistan, Manchalabad. Everyone's got comedy names for the cities and towns around them that are positively brimming with potential suicide bombers. But I definitely think, looking at the numbers, Birmingham's got them all beat. Spark Hill is famously an area of Birmingham that's about 1% local inhabitant. I don't think anywhere's as bad as that. I'm still convinced there's at least a few completely wretched, totally miserable, ethnically English families that are still trapped in Bradford, for example. But Birmingham, there's just been a mass exodus from the city centre, which is why there's rats in the street. The bins don't get emptied, and the local milkman stumbled across more improvised explosive devices than empties when he does his round on a morning. So we all know what goes on in Birmingham. Let's have a quick read of this excellent piece of investigative journalism by GB News. Incidentally, I was going to cover this Telegraph piece, but I haven't renewed my subscription to them after their last deluge of ludicrous left-wing stories. So, yeah, I've had enough of them. I'm not giving them my money anymore. It's a shame, though, because I like that headline. It's got a lot of potential. GB News hasn't annoyed me enough, so I'm still giving them my money, and we can read this one. It sounds hyperbolic, but I assure you it isn't. Nope, definitely not. If you pay attention, I'm sure you've heard Shahid Butt's name before, but yes, there is a full-blown Semtex in his sneakers type fella running for a high office in Birmingham. And best of all, he wanted to blow up the British consulate. It wouldn't be so bad if he tried to attack the Saudis or the Iranians or something. Maybe some Sunni Shia hijinks. But no, the very centre of his ire was rested on the British state. He tried to blow up the British consulate, and now he wants to work for him. Think of that. That's like Kate Moss when she was at the height of her fame and she weighed about 2 stone. Signing a sponsorship deal with Hellman's Mayonnaise, it just doesn't sound right, does it? Shahid's going to contest the aforementioned Spark Hill ward, where just under 2/3 of the residents are of pure Matraki heritage. So he's going to win by a landslide, isn't he? That's why it's funny. Doesn't matter what he did. In an area of the UK, because they vote entirely tribally, don't care about democracy, they're not like us, they don't vote for the person they like the best, which is why I keep telling you lot, it's our fault all these genocides happen, it's our fault Idi Amin was chopping people's arms and legs off and sewing them back on in the wrong place. We cause it, especially the Americans, with this ridiculous insistence on elections for everyone. Not everyone is suitable for elections. People who are inherently tribal can't have them. because they vote along tribal lines. And if they're in the minority tribe, well, they'll just eat everyone or what have you. So this doesn't work. Shahid Butt, if he runs against Mother Teresa, he's winning by a landslide, because that's how it works. I don't know who you'd think of as a moral person in the public eye, because they're all degenerates. But you get the point I'm trying to make. It could be a saint. Ozzy Osbourne, right? He's much beloved. He could run against Shahid in the middle of Birmingham these days, and he'd lose, because, unlike us, they only see colour. There's been incidents when I was in Afghanistan. I remember reading about them abducting British tourists, and if one of them happens to have a bit of a tan, maybe it's like a British Indian fella or something, it's actually happened. They let them go. They kill the unbelievers, white people, and they let the Asians go, even if they're not practicing. And people make out like it's entirely about religion. It really isn't. It's tribalism. Do you really think Shahid Butt has got a problem with a Pakistani who was born and raised in England and never goes to the bell end shaped church and doesn't drink? You know, he hasn't embraced the faith at all. No, he doesn't. They'll leave them unmolested when Owen Jones is taking the quick way down from the top of a multi-storey car park. They're a tribal people. Yes, it's got echoes of religiosity about it, but ultimately, they are very racist. Yeah. Anyway, back to the story. A snack bar activist convicted for his role in an armed terror plot is seeking election to Birmingham City Council, and he'll definitely get it. Definitely. Shahid was jailed for 5 years in 1999 after being found guilty of planning attacks on the British consulate, an Anglican church, and a Swiss-owned hotel. I love this, and GB News are writing it like this is like not a selling point. If 2/3 of Spark Hill is from Pakistan, this isn't slagging him off. He'll love this. He'll probably just screen capture that paragraph and stick it on his flyers, putting them through people's letterbox. He attacked an Anglican church in the British consulate. That's the equivalent of telling a middle-class white woman that he ran an orphanage, rescued puppies, and does yoga on weekends. He's a yoga instructor. They like them, don't they? Can't move for yoga instructors in the Guardian HQ. This is ludicrous. He's definitely going to win. Definitely. Prosecutors said the cell had been dispatched by Abu Hamza. Oh, one of my favourites, Abu. We go way back, me and Mr. Hamza. I was name-dropping everybody's favourite cycloptic hook-handed hate preacher back in the pub 20 years before I started a YouTube channel. So me and Abu were like that. He's a good bloke. However, Butt continues to deny the conviction, claiming his confession was extracted under torture. Bollocks. He denies it when he's talking to the British media, but when he's on the campaign trail, well, we've all seen that. We've all seen what he says quietly when he thinks nobody's listening. And it isn't, oh, I got tortured, it ain't true. It's, yeah, good innit, bruv. Now the 60-year-old is standing in the Spark Hill ward for the Independent Candidates Alliance, an activist group expected to field around 20 candidates across Birmingham on May 7th. Spark Hill has a large Puma Traki population, accounting for 2/3 of local residents, and the alliance was founded by Ahmed Yaqub and Shakil Asvar, and it's targeting seats that Labour fears could be vulnerable amid anger among snack bar voters over the party's stance on the obvious. The obvious, again, which is the point I've made, Starmer's got no chance, absolutely none. He's doing the exact same thing Boris Johnson was doing, trying to appeal to everyone. And the simple fact of the matter is, these people are carrying out a millennia-old blood feud on the streets of England, okay? You can't say on a Monday that you absolutely love the Palestinians, and then on a Tuesday that you absolutely love the 4B2s, and you're 100% behind the State of Israel. And then on a Wednesday, expect both of those groups that are aggressively, dogmatically and violently opposed to each other to all turn out and vote for you. And the fact that it takes working class scum like me to point this out genuinely staggers me. I don't know what planet these people are living on. They obviously still think it's the 1970s, and as long as you lie and cheat and steal, but you have the mainstream media and the TV networks and the radio stations lying for you all the time and covering everything up and not speaking about anything, that you can get away with it. But it's 2026. He's always getting videoed. Everybody's talking on social media. All the Pumas know exactly where Keir Starmer stands on the gift that keeps on giving in the Middle East. So they know where he stands on that, and they won't give him the time of day as a result. The same goes for the 4B2s, because he's always noshing off the likes of Abu Hamza, rhetorically, on television. I think he prefers Ukrainian rent boys when he's actually getting some hot cock action. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. The finish with Butt's candidacy has prompted immediate backlash online, with critics accusing him of promoting violence and pushing the snack bar agenda, which is exactly why he's going to win. There you go. We'll see. We'll see. When Thursday rolls around, see if I'm right. A bloke with a background like that, attacking Anglican churches and promoting violence in an area like Sparkhill is guaranteed to win. If he was running in Harrogate, where middle-class arseholes like to live in la-la land, then it wouldn't be a good thing. But trust me, Sparkhill, reading about him trying to blow up the Anglican church, they will love that. That will be red meat to the average voter in Birmingham. But we'll see. We'll see. You might disagree. If you do, feel free to comment down below. If you live in Birmingham and your relatives are closely related by blood, feel free to comment, although no, you probably, with your webbed fingers, you probably can't operate a keyboard. Just get your NHS care worker to type some messages out for you, all right? And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.